Alright, so here's my transformation after selectively suffocating myself for an entire year while sleeping, or in other words, just taping my mouth shut. So I'm just going to show up some before and after photos of basically my jawline and my facial appearance. And I made mine. I basically help people improve their mental and physical health so that they can achieve their ultimate purpose in life. Now, basically, I'm just going to be showing you the TGS method. I'll get into that later, but I basically use to mouth breathe a lot, right? And before making my mental health better by, meditating and things like that, I never really had the thought to actually improve my facial appearance and, how that would actually affect my life or improve it, right? But then after making my mental health better, I knew that, it would probably help me a lot in every possible aspect of my life, right? So if I made my face look better or make my jaw grow out a little bit so that my teeth can actually have some space to grow into, so braces won't be as necessary. I couldn't really actually do anything with my jaw or anything with my face for some reason, and I didn't know why. So I basically found out the things I'm about to tell you, and it helped a lot, especially by pairing it with things like eating clean and losing weight and just all things like that. So here are the 3 things in the TGS method that I found out. So the first one is tape. So basically just micropore tape. So I'll pop up a video on screen about the type of tape that I actually use from Amazon. And it's basically 8M micropore tape. And I've been using it for the past year and haven't really gone through half of one roll yet, and I got 2 for $8. So if you can have $8 for 3 years worth of just making your jawline better, then that's a very good investment to make, in my opinion. And you might be thinking, is it safe to actually tape your mouth shut while you're sleeping? Yeah, it is safe because you'd wake up before anything bad happens, right? And plus, it's not like the duct tape that the CIA or kidnappers use, and it's really easy to break through it, right? It's mainly just there as a reminder for your brain that breathing through your mouth is not the easiest way to actually take in a breath, and that your nose is. You don't mouth breathe as much as you would or at all during sleep. So why should you use micropore tape? So I have some photos up here on screen, just how mouth breathing would look on a woman and a guy. So we can see for the woman that her jawline is a lot closer towards her neck. On top of that, she's doing this kind of thing, right? Same with the guy. So it makes the air that's going into your lungs a lot cleaner when you breathe through your nose. It makes it warmed up a little bit as well. And on top of that, it just makes your jaw grow a little bit properly. Now, how do you actually use micropore tape? So you can just apply it this way. And you're not supposed to go all the way around, from this side of your mouth to this side. You're supposed to just go in the middle like this, right? Just this much, right? You just have to go this much, not all the way through, because even if in a case of emergency that your nose is clogged while you're sleeping, right? At least you'll still be able to breathe through the side of your mouth a little. And obviously, you don't want to make it near actually impossible to break through it. Obviously, you can break through it easy. It just requires a little bit of force to just open your jaw. But then on top of that, it just makes your jaw grow properly because you're breathing through your nose. So it's not reducing the amount of pressure you have on the top of your mouth. So when you actually tape your mouth, it's increasing that pressure so that you can actually have a little bit more of a wider face, which means that your jaw can move forward. Now, the second part of the TGS method is gum. So the kind of gum that I've been using is mastic gum, and mastic gum is basically just a type of resin that forms on top of a tree when you cut it. So obviously the tree is also it's like a plant, right? It's a living thing. So when you cut it, it has to repair itself somehow so that things don't get into the inside of the tree. So it'll just form a resin. In Greece, the Aegean, something like that, islands, right? They have trees there where when you cut them, it forms mastic gum, and then they just cut that mastic gum off again, and then that's what they actually sell to you. So I actually have some mastic gum here. It is kind of expensive. This pack was $20 on Amazon, but then the thing is, right, it lasts forever. So I've been chewing on that one piece of gum from this pack for about a week, and it's still, it's obviously gotten a little bit smaller, it's dissolving in my mouth, right? But it's really easy to just chew on, and it lasts a long time. It does taste a little bit kind of like bark, which is a big surprise, but it has no additives. It lasts for a long time. It has the same taste as it does when I actually started using it or chewing it, right? The benefit of mastic gum is because we have so many processed foods in our diet, in the modern day, burgers, meat should not just be the same texture all around. It should have properties like meat, right? The joints, the actual muscle, the fat in there, right? The meat that you get from burgers in McDonald's or something, it's all the same thing. It's just completely, it just doesn't really make sense how that's natural, right? Because our ancestors did not mash up their meat and make it all the same consistency when they ate it. They just got a hunt, right? They just went out to hunt, they came back, they found something, thankfully for that day, and they're just going to eat it as soon as possible. Now the processed foods that we eat, they basically dissolve in our mouth. They require like a little mechanical digestion or like chewing to actually digest it properly, right? The main thing that I'm trying to make a point of is our masseter muscles, which is like this muscle right here. It's a muscle that like brings the jaw up and pulls it towards the top of your skull. And that's less work, even though it's like one of the strongest muscles in our whole body, right? It's a superficial muscle, so like it's more used. And on top of that, that's what we used to use to, chew on very hard things, right? That's why we have wisdom teeth, right? That's what, like if we ever break an adult tooth, we can just that would just break, it would fall out, and then we'd have a wisdom tooth to push everything back to the front so we can still like live and not have like 3 teeth as an adult. And this gum basically works to master the muscles, all these other muscles in your jaw, including the one that connects your jaw to like the area around your ear. And it basically just promotes, breathing through your nose. And I haven't been using mastic gum for a long time, but the results are definitely noticeable. And I've had the same feeling in my mouth with mastic gum and taping my mouth to get like shut when I sleep as when I did when I had braces. So if it's the same feeling, it's probably the same or similar sort of effect. And then the third part of the TGS method is show yourself. So this is more of like a mindset sort of thing. It's not exactly like a tangible thing to do, but they say is one of the most important parts of it. So it's like just shaving or just trying to like not hide yourself, right? So if you have I used to have long hair, right? And I had a scruffy beard. But like if you have anything like that, just trying to remove it, right? Because you need to show what you're trying to improve so that you have a motivation to improve it. If everyone was basically topless or like in swimsuits all the time, then you would be very motivated to get leaner, to reduce the stomach, right? So it's basically the same idea with your face, right? You want to you just want to shave to make sure that you can actually see the jawline. You want to remove as much hair as possible, maybe even buzz cut if you really want to go into it, right? Because you're gonna look worse before you actually look better. And maybe you're using your hair or your beard to subconsciously or consciously hide how bad you look, right? But if you face yourself every day, like, this is how bad I look, right? Then you're gonna do something about it, right? So again, I had that long hair and beard, and I wasn't really motivated to lose weight. I had baggy hoodies, baggy t-shirts, I had baggy pants, right? I had a long hair and that beard, so I never really had to look directly into my eyes when I was in the mirror that like, hey, I'm fat, right? But once I actually cut my hair and started to shave, I realized what was truly there, and I started to wear tighter clothes. Like I was wearing 2XL before, I started to wear large. So then I really started to realize like, damn, even in large, I like fit up against it, right? This is what I had from that time period. Like, look at how loose it is. Look at how loose it is, right? I was wearing clothes like these. I really didn't like look at myself all the time, and you realize like, hey, I'm fat. But if you realize that all the time, then you'll be motivated to actually do something about it. Now, I think you're gonna try out some of these parts from the TGS method, the tape, the gum, or just like realizing what you actually have to do with the as part of it, the method, right? And that's amazing. And I think you'd actually love like the guide that I have on my channel on how to meditate, right? I basically lost 75 pounds. That was the thing that made me realize all these little things that I could do to, start to lose weight and to be consistent in the gym. And just do all these habits to improve my jaw and oral health. So that'll be this card here or, in the description, and you can just click on that and I'll see you there.